From the Estados Unidos by way of OC, Los Angeles, and the West Coast. Coming to you, repping Talibas, knocking out agendas of the cancel culture and 50 rats, breaking down doors in Hollywood for La Raza. Unashamed of the creator, because no one is greater.
We thank you for stopping in. We have a special guest today. But before we get to Mike, please take a second to subscribe, like, and please share this video all over from Facebook, Instagram. Help us get the word out. So we have Michael Gonzalez today, also known as Second Chance. Mike, welcome. Welcome.
Hey,
Hi.
all right, Paul, how you, man? How's everything going?
Good, man. Before we get going, do you have anything you want to say to all your fans and all the people who may be hearing of you for the first time?
Yeah, man, if you're out there, God bless you guys. It's your boy Second Chance. Share and repost this video. It's been a long time since I did a personal interview, and you know, I'm just like excited. I'm ready, and it's an honor to be here today. And make sure you guys share it, man. There's a lot of people out there that need to hear this message, the story, a lot of information. So God bless you.
Yeah. So me and Mike been friends for a while, and just to give you a quick update, obviously, for those of you who don't know, Mike is a recording artist. He's very well known across the United States, and I'm sure in different countries. He's also an actor, but he's also one of the stars in one of my films. He plays Nico Velasquez in one of the films called Kilroy. So we're going to be talking about that later. We're going to be talking about his music career. But for those of you who know Second Chance and been following him for a long time, he has a huge following. I want to ask the questions that probably nobody's going to ask, so we get to know this guy. Like, who is Second Chance? Who is Michael Gonzalez? So without further ado, Mike, here comes the tough questions, brother.
All right.
Hey, bro. So we want to know, where were you born and how did you grow up as a kid, like a young kid?
Man, I was born in a little city southeast of Los Angeles called Artesia. And a lot of people are like, well, where's that at? It's right by on the outskirts of Norwalk, Hawaiian Gardens. And I was born and raised there at Pioneer Hospital. And that hospital is not there anymore, but there was a little hospital there. That's where I was raised. That's where my whole life resided there for many years. And that's where the old stomping grounds are, man. And I drive by there sometimes, man, and I miss that hospital because it's not there no more, you know. And very few people that I know were born at Pioneer Hospital in Artesia, or California.
Yeah, man. Like I told you earlier, I was born at that hospital.
Right.
Born there, man. I guess that makes me old, bro, because that hospital has been around for a while.
No, we ain't that old, man. But I know, man. There's just like I never met anybody, man, besides you that was born in Artesia, California. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a blessing to say that, man, because that's where I was born and raised. You know. Yeah.
Tell us about your childhood as a kid, as a youngster, elementary days. Like, how did you grow up?
Man, you know, I grew up, man, in a nice neighborhood. You know, a lot of people know that area, Artesia, Cerritos area. It's pretty nice, man. It's a nice area. I was super blessed because growing up as a kid, you know, I always had, you know, good providers, man. My dad was a good provider. He worked hard. My mom took good care of us, and elementary school was good, man. Kindergarten, first, second, third grade. It was awesome, man. It was awesome to walk to school, to experience, you know, what kids experience, you know what I mean? And I could say that my elementary days were good, and between the 5th and 6th grade, that's when it started everything started sliding for me a little bit, you know? little curiosity, a little bit of enticement, things that were temptation, different things that I wanted to be a part of,
Yeah, Mike, I totally get what you're talking about. And so you're growing up, good kid, going to school, loving your neighborhood, loving everything. What was the thing that changed, that started taking you down that wrong road? What did you see? Who did you see? And also, like, how did you get enticed to that? I'm saying that because there's kids watching who maybe, could avoid that too.
Well, I could say this, man. Um, my mom was a good mother. My dad was a good father, but there was a lot of drinking in my home. My dad loved to drink, and when he drank, he would beat my mom. And as a kid, I would see this, man, and I was kind of like, traumatized. Me and my sister. It was only me and my sister. I only have one sister, and she's 3 years older than me. And I remember, man, she would take the lashes for me, man. She would, like, when things would happen, my mom and dad would argue. My dad would fight and hit my mom. And my grandparents, my dad's parents, they lived down the street from us. So anytime that would happen, they would race over. And so I would say about fifth or sixth grade, it started getting rocky. My dad, I watched my dad a lot. I used to go out with him a lot. He used to kind of, venture out, do his thing. And his cover up, I guess, to tell my mom, was to take me with him. You know what I mean? And I would see him, partying, drinking. And their marriage started to get rocky. And I can see that maybe fifth or sixth grade. And I had a friend, man. I had one of my best friends in elementary school. I believe we're fifth or sixth grade. And I remember one day, man, he came to school, and he had a black eye and stuff. And I was concerned, and I told him, "Hey, bro, what happened, man?" And he goes, "Man, you know what? I got jumped into the gang. I got jumped into Artesia." And his little brother went there too. And we were just kind of like, what? I could say that was the beginning. Like, I wanted to be a part of that, because now my best friend was part of a gang. So I was like, man, like, I was kind of interested in, like, what that lifestyle brought, because my dad always protected me from that lifestyle. And my dad was an OG. And so at that time, my mom and dad would fight a lot. They got divorced. And when I was 10, and so when they got divorced, my my mom, she couldn't handle me and my sister, because we were like, we wanted to go with grandma and grandpa, because my grandma gave us the freedom and the liberty to kind of do whatever we wanted. You know what I mean? So we would run from my mom's pad to my grandma's. And once again, that was my dad's mom and dad. And that's when I could see things just kind of unraveling little by little. My dad always told me that if I was going to go to the neighborhood, if I was going to get jumped in, never to hide it from him, because if he found out, he was gonna whip my butt. You know what I mean? So I always hid it from him. I would go to elementary school, and we would start ditching class, we would start ditching school, and little by little hanging out with these guys, man. And my dad, he told a lot of the homeboys, man, you know what, if you ever see my son, and let me know, tell him, don't allow him to hang around, and stuff like that. But I always snuck and did it anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, so little by little, man, it kind of unraveled with the divorce of my parents. And then at the courts, the courts granted my grandmother and my grandfather legal custody of me and my sister, because we didn't want to stay with my mom, because once again, my grandma allowed us to have that freedom to do kind of a little bit what we wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we went
And
in.
divorce is devastating, man. It
I
hurts,
know,
especially for the kids, man.
right?
And before we go on, Mike, I want to take a little pit stop here. before we go on, like how you ended up in juvenile hall and all that stuff, you're seeing, for anybody that doesn't know Artesia, it's a very well-known neighborhood. And I think Mike, your dad was pretty well known, you know, the Big Mike. And, you know, so in that neighborhood, there was a lot of guys who were OGs. And, you know, could you tell us about like some of these guys you were seeing? Because some of them are legends, bro. You know, some of them are legends, you know, from, you know, Weddle, you know, to others, you know, like these are the guys you grew up looking up to as a little kid. Can you tell us a little about that and how that influenced you?
Right. Yeah, like when my generation, like from my neighborhood, from Artesia, we had different cliques. So we had the midget locals, we had the peewee locals, the 190s and Devlin Street. I was from Devlin Street. And so, you know, like when my dad used to take me around, I was a little boy, man, and he used to introduce me to these guys. I didn't know too much about anybody or anything, you know. And but little by little, when I got jumped in to Artesia, you know, I started to, you know, learn more about the neighborhood and, you know, who was there and who was who. And you know, out of respect for my dad, you know, everybody would kind of, you know, just tell him everything that I was doing and stuff like that. And, you know, because when I got jumped in at Artesia Park. And I was like, man, I can remember I was like 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. And my dad was there counting the watch, you know. And I remember the older homeboys that jumped me in, they were like 19, 20 years old, you know what I mean? 18. And my dad was like, I remember my dad even stopped the watch, man. And he said, you know what, stop. Because I was a skinny little kid and I fell down. And I remember he picked me up and he goes, you get up and you fight, you know, you fight back, you know. And after that, man, he picked me up. And my dad is the one that named me. And he called me boy, because I was one of the smallest youngsters from the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And you know, all these other guys, you know, like the OGs and stuff, I didn't really know a lot of them. I just knew that when I grew up, like and meeting them, and a lot of them you know, went off to go, you know, do time and stuff like that. But my generation, you know, it was me running the streets right there on Devlin Street, the 190s, you know, just a lot of a lot of drama, man. A lot of, I wasn't just one of those ones that, you know, were hanging up, holding up the wall, spray painting or nothing like that, man. It was a really wicked, evil life, man, lifestyle. And it was a lot of lessons to be learned, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was rough, man. It was rough.
yeah. And I know, man, some of the neighborhoods that are around you guys, I know you guys had some wars, you know. And what's cool is you're not that no more. So we're not glorifying that life as we talk. You know,
Right, right.
we're talking about, and even those older guys, you know, you know, some of those older guys that, you know, are very well known. And, you know, we're just, you know, it's cool, man. Juvenile hall, how'd you start getting busted?
Man, juvenile hall, man, it was I was already deep into the gang life, man. And you know, I think my first time at juvenile hall, I got busted for attempted murder. I was 12 years old. I went into Los Padrinos, not knowing really like anything. I didn't know the system. I was a youngster, and long and behold, I had to go in there for my first time for attempted murder. You know what I mean? And you know, from that point on, you know, like I started to learn the ropes. I started to learn the system. You know what I mean? And I was just, you know, just as I went along, you know, my dad at that time, you know, was already busted. I think he got 14 years. You know, I think he did, out of the whole term, he did 14 years in prison. And but at that time he was already busted. So you know, he was up there in Corcoran with Manson, Charles Manson, level 4, you know what I mean? And So when I got busted in juvenile hall for the first time, my grandparents used to come see me, then they used to go see him, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like a pattern, you know, but I can say this, man, that my grandparents, man, rain or shine, bro, they were there, man. Wherever I went, Los Padrinos, Central, Silmar, you know, Challenger, Lancaster, wherever it was, man, they were in that line, bro, every Saturday to see me, bro. You know, no matter what, grandma loved me, bro. And that was an unconditional love because she had the love of God in her, man, always praying for us, always believing in us, never giving up, never closing her doors to us, bro. You know what I mean? And
Man, that's
that
beautiful.
was that was unconditional, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
in fact, Mike, in the times I was doing time, my grandmother would do the same. She only spoke Spanish, and she would come and visit me and and read Psalms in Spanish. I didn't even know what she was saying, but you know, their prayers work, bro.
Yep. Yep. Yeah,
So
bro.
let me
Definitely.
ask you, when you went into juvenile hall, like, was it on in there? Were you guys fighting? Was there other, was there gang beefs inside? How was it in juvenile hall and as you're going to the county and stuff?
In Los Padrinos, I could say this. There was just a lot of you could say like game playing. You know what I mean? Mind games. You know, now with the juvenile hall, as we all know, it's just the gang, you know, with your enemies, you know what I mean? But so you know, with the Hawaiian Gardens or Norwalk, those were a lot of our enemies at the time. And so if we see, you know, in juvenile hall, if you see your enemy, you know, you got to get busy, you got to get down, you know what I mean? And I remember when there was a time where I was going from juvenile hall to Camp Miller. I was going up to Camp Miller, and you know, we're shackled in the bus, and we're taking the ride, and you know, there's always instigators. You know what I mean? There's always the instigators, and they knew I was from Artesia. And this one youngster, he's telling me, "Hey, we're gonna get to the camp, and you know, there's three bottles from Norwalk there. You know what I mean? They're gonna roll you up or whatever." And I was just quiet, man. You know, I didn't feed into it. So when we got there, um, you know, sure enough, man, there was three big old dudes from Norwalk, and I'm a skinny kid. You know, I was skinny at the time. They kind of, you know, and so, but I remember, man, I got to the camp, and then one was serving the food, and you know, he gave me like a little bit of food, man, in my plate. You know what I mean? He's like, Barrio Norwalk, you know. I told him Artesia. And then when I that same day, that was my first day in camp, and then the other Vata for Norwalk gave me the, you know, shower roll with my shirt and my drawers and everything. And so I opened it up, and he goes, Barrio Norwalk, same thing, you know. And I told him Artesia. So, you know, I opened up the roll, and the whole shirt was ripped. You know what I mean? And so there was three dudes, man. There was three of them, man. And I told this guy from 18th Street, man. I said, you know what? One of the vatos from Norwalk was a laundry boy. He worked in the laundry. So I said, man, you know what? I gotta get busy with all three of them, bro. You know what I mean? I gotta get down. So I told the vato from Norwalk, I said, let's set it up, bro. We're running the laundry room, and let's get busy. All three of you guys with me. You know, let's do it now. You know what I mean? So if you didn't do that, then basically, you know, that was still, you know, that it would just be tension all the way around. You know what I mean? And even though like you know, we didn't get along, man, after that there was a little bit of respect. You know what I mean? And um in camp there's different, you know, there's laundry, there's like people working in the office. So by the end of the time, I did a year there. By the end of the time that I got out, I was basically in charge of all the mail. You know what I mean? So even though me and that vato, there was one more vato from Norwalk after 9 months or whatever, he was giving me brand new clothes, and I was hooking him up with his mail. You know what I mean? Because if I didn't get taken care of, he wasn't gonna get his mail. You know what I mean? So once again, it's just it's a mind game, it's a respect game, and that's just that goes for Juvie's camps, YA or whatever. You know what I mean? But in the county, it's a whole different ball game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So tell us about graduating to the county and what got you there, and then what were your thoughts going in there? I know your dad had probably already trained you, but what was your thoughts?
Man, it was, in juvenile hall, it was different. Being locked up in that room, in juvenile hall, there was no bars. There was just a little tiny window. I spent a lot of time in those rooms, man. And I remember, even I was up in Lancaster, and I wasn't feeling good, man. I felt sick. And I would tell the staff, and I was like, hey, man, I'm sick. Something's wrong with me. They didn't care. They didn't believe me. They were giving me Pepto and all that. So basically one day, man, we came out for line movement, and I fell out, man. I passed out. And next thing you know, man, I woke up at High Desert Hospital in Lancaster, handcuffed to the bed. And they're telling me, we got to get you in surgery right away. Your appendix ruptured. You know what I mean? So the poison from the appendix was going through my body already. I almost died. So when I woke up out of surgery, my whole right side of my stomach was left open, man. I can see my insides. You know what I mean? They had a pump on the bottom pumping all the poison out. I woke up handcuffed to the bed, man. And I remember my grandma coming up, and she goes, why is he handcuffed? Like, unhandcuff him. She didn't understand. She's like, what is he going to do? And I almost died, man. I almost didn't make it. And I remember when they released me from High Desert Hospital, they put me back in, we don't call them cells in Juvie, but in the camp, it's like a room. You know what I mean? It's like the hole. And so they put me in that room, man, for like 3 weeks straight, man, because I had stitches. I couldn't move. I wasn't in trouble, but they didn't want to put me back in population because they were afraid that, I would get hurt or my stitches would open or whatever. But I stayed in that room, man, for 3 weeks. And I remember I still had about 4 months to go of my time. And my caseworker walked in one day, man, and I told her, man, you know what? I got to get out of here, man. You know what? This is crazy. They got me locked down, like 22 hours a day, you know what I mean? And I go, she goes, you know what? I got good news for you. They're letting you out a little early because your grandma was going to sue them. You know what I mean? Because they didn't listen to me, bro, because my side was hurting. I almost died. You know what I mean? So she goes, they're going to let you out about a couple months early or whatever. You're going to court this week or whatever. So I got released, man, and went back to Los Padrinos, got released from there. And but I graduated, the next step was the county jail. And when I hit the county, man, it was like totally different story, man. And I was in 9500 Bakers Road, the gang module.
Pause right there, guys. Just really quick, Mike. We'll pause right there. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to watch one of Michael's videos. We'll be right back.
It's always hard, man, to come here sometimes,
No, I understand you, man, but you know what? The main thing is you're here, man. And your pops is proud of you, Holmes, you know what I mean?
I seen this vision, bro, when I was driving my ride, and then I went to the pad, and it's just a vision that God gave me. He said, put this together, that it was going to reach a lot of people, you know what I mean? Here we are today, man. I just want to say gracias, bro, for always supporting me, dog. I appreciate it, bro.
I got your back, man. You're going to be great, homie. You got to keep this up.
Let's do this. Second chance. Sophia C. I'd rather be yours, Jesus.
Something told me my life was over. Yeah. So I got down on my knees and started talking. Something deep down in my soul cried out, Lord, I need you now more than ever before. I need you now. Ooh, I would rather be yours, Lord. I don't wanna walk away from you, no. 'Cause you see, I love you so much. All I wanna do
Never give up, never lose hope. I would go blind. Take it one day at a time. Never give up, never lose hope. I would go blind. Life has got you down, it'll come around. Even when you smile, people see you frown. Father God, help me now, can you hear the prayer of this man? I've been with the best, seen many fall, people come and go. Let me stand tall, Holy Spirit of the living God, show me I can. Let me dust it off from my 501s and my white Nikes. Do I have it in me, Father God? One time, one last fight. Grab my favorite keyboard, talk box, let loose for Christ. Nothing's gonna stop me, grab my holy word, now that's nice. When it comes down, who will be around? Just that true friend. How you gonna be no one to blame in the end? Who you gonna talk to when that phone it don't ring? Who you gonna love when the party stops, it don't sing? I'ma keep it me, tell me what you see. I'ma keep it coming only cause I'm free. Nothing gonna stop me from giving my best. Take it one day at a time. Never give up, never lose hope. I would go blind. Look at where I'm at, look at what you've done. Never did I think I would ever run, but I'll sing it to you all day if I can. I'll sing it if I want, rap it if I can. Never let you go, sticking to his plan. Jesus is the way, so turn up the jam. Never take it from me, God, now the melody and the chords. Music is a way that I say thank you, my Lord. No words can express just how it sets my soul free. I'll take it real close, take it up, now look at a G. Don't burn it down, just take your time, Christian, know this last. Take it one day and just don't live it too fast. People say the best song is always written from the way a man feels. I say the best song comes from the struggle that's real. They wanna see you fail, live a life of hell. They don't even care, put you up in jail. People always gonna talk, but God loves you the same. Take it one day at a time. Never give up, never lose hope. I would go blind. Take it one day at a time. Never give up, never lose hope. I would go blind. Take it one day at a time. Never give up, never lose hope. I would go blind.
I would rather be yours, Lord. I don't wanna walk away from you.
All right, we hope you guys liked that video. Mike, why don't you tell us about that video we just seen?
Man, that video, I'd Rather Be Yours. We shot it at Rose Hill Cemetery. I had the vision, man, in my head because my dad is buried there, rest in peace. And when I came up with that vision, I asked the drummer of War, Sal Rodriguez, to be in it, to be in the song with me. And a lot of people showed up, man, and a lot of people showed up. And that video went viral, man. And I know that it has almost 3 million views on Facebook. And it was just a blessing, man. And just for everybody out there, man, that's going through it, it's just a uplifting song, positive song. Everybody just had nothing but good things to say about it.
And I'm sure they could get that song on iTunes and everywhere. Is that?
Oh yeah, iTunes. Just punch in Second Chance, I'd Rather Be Yours, and it's right there on iTunes. Yeah.
Probably everywhere, right? GoDaddy everywhere, I assume.
Spotify, iTunes, Rhapsody, Amazon, everything. Yeah.
Okay, that was awesome, guys. So I hope you liked it. And then, so we were talking a little while ago before the break about juvenile hall. Now you're talking about graduating into the county jail. Tell us about it, and what are your first thoughts going in there? Who did you see, and how was it?
Man, my first thoughts, man, because we used to go to Lakewood Station. So Lakewood Station was the station where we would travel from, or Cerritos Court, Municipal Court, that would take you straight to the county jail. And when I went to the county jail, man, it was, I knew that it was going to be different because they don't play the little mind games, of enemies, like, okay, you're from Norwalk, I'm from Artesia. But, in the county, we run together, you know what I mean? Like the Sureños, or say like we're the Southeast car, you know what I mean? Like Southeast, we run together, Norwalk, Hawaiian Gardens, Artesia. Chivas, we're like, okay, we're cool in there. You know what I mean? Like everything's good. But, it was a whole nother experience, man. I was in 9500. And as I passed through 9500, man, I was like, wow, this is my first time there. It was different. You know what I mean? A lot of fools holding tanks, man, were just tore up from the floor up, bro. Like, you couldn't even move, man. Like people were just laying on the floor. Like it was just, tore up, man. And when we finally went up, to 9500, then they shipped me to Baker's Road. And then, it was just like, it was Christmas time. I think it was during Christmas. And I was like, man, you know what? It was just like, I started to think, and I was like, man, you know what? Is this all there is for my life? I was sitting on the bunk, and because in Baker's Road, they got like bunk beds, and then they got cells, up above, the tier. And, that's when it started to get, like real, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, you know what? I started getting tired, man. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm tired of this, started to get tired of this lifestyle, tired of being busted. Cause I was busted all the time. Paul was like, I was busted through Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, birthday parties, you know what I mean? Like every year on the same phone, man, making the same call, saying the same thing in letters after letter, bro, saying things are going to get better. But, there was just the same old story, man. When I got out, I never changed, man. It was just right back to my vomit, you know what I mean? Like they say in the Bible, it says like a dog goes back to his vomit,
Yeah.
And I would just go back, man, and I couldn't get out of it, man. It was like a cycle,
Yeah.
and I was like compelled, man. I was compelled to the gang lifestyle, man. I was like, it was a rush for me, man, like to be a gang member. It was a rush for me. And like I said, man, I wasn't like, those that know me that are probably watching this, if you know me personally, I wasn't just one of those fools that were just holding up the wall spray painting, you know what I mean? I was dedicated. I put my full dedication into my barrio and everything that I did, man. I wasn't a punk. I wasn't soft. I was down for mine. I was a very wicked and evil man,
Wow, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy knowing you now. Like, I wouldn't think, because
Right.
God transformed your life and made you a humble, nice guy, and
That's right.
But now take us to the steps. What led to the changing of your life? Take us to the steps, and how did that happen?
Man, I got out of the LA County Jail, and went right back into the streets again, you know, back in rotation, back, you know, doing what I was doing. And my sister was from Chivas. Now, Chivas is a gang in Artesia. And, you know, she was down, bro. She was like, you know, anybody knows my sister, bro, she would get down. She was down for the barrio. And, you know, that was my homegirl. You know, it was me, my dad, and her, bro. And when they seen, you know, when the homies seen my dad coming, bro, you know, it was like, man, it was on, bro. You know what I mean? They knew what time it was. You know, my dad actually kind of set the how can I say it, set the atmosphere of the stone for me. And you know, the homies knew that, you know, my dad was no punk either, you know what I mean, that he's been around. And so with my sister, um you know, when I got out this last time, um she gave her life to the Lord. And you know, I remember her you know, kind of disappearing for a little bit, and I was still doing my thing. And I was gunned down coming from Compton, because Compton is, I smoked a lot of PCP. And that was my high, you know,
Were you
gang
dipping?
banging and dipping the juice, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I used to dip the juice, man. And so I would score right there in Compton or Watts, or we would go down to State Street in LA and Brooklyn, off of Brooklyn. And so I was coming from Compton, and I got on the 91 freeway, man. And there was some fools, man. It was my enemies, you know. And so I never backed down, bro. I never backed down. And so they shot me down, bro, in the ditch right there off the 91 freeway, bro. I was left for dead right off the off ramp. And I blacked out, you know, I blacked out. And so what I can recall, bro, is the highway patrol said that he was patrolling, you know, off the freeway. And he seen a car in the ditch, so he made a U-turn. He went back. And I was in a coma, bro, after that.
Wow.
And they found me, so I woke up in this machine going upside down, bro. And when I woke up, my sister ran up to me and she said that she had been praying for me, you know. And I was a little out of it. I didn't quite understand what was going on, bro. And so she goes, nah, you know, I got saved, you know, and I gave my life to the Lord. And I didn't know what that was, bro, because to me, bro, a Christian, like a lot of fools, when I was busted, I never respected Christians because they would hide behind that lifestyle just to get through their time just a little bit easier, you know what I mean? And then when I would see them when they got out, you know, they were just doing their thing again. And I was like, hey, homie, weren't you just like, you know, preaching to me or saying whatever you were? But when they got out, it was a whole different story. You know what I mean? So I didn't really trip on that lifestyle. I thought, like, you know, like people that turned Christian were just, you know, like punks, you know, lames, they were soft, you know what I mean? And I was just like, that's just an excuse for them to, you know, try to get by, you know what I mean? And so but she didn't give up, man. After I got better a little bit, she kept inviting me to church, kept inviting me on. Nah, I'm good. I told her, nah, I'm good. You know, I was a little embarrassed, man, you know, because some of the homies, they would ask and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, she's doing good. You know what I mean? She's trying to, you know, do something different or whatever. And, but I was embarrassed, man. I was embarrassed because the lifestyle that we lived, to me, it was a sign of weakness. You know what I mean? And so anyway, make a long story short, um, you know, I was going to face some more time in the county jail for I think it was like under the influence, like a 90-day thing or something. And so I went to court, and she heard I went to court, so she called me. She goes, hey, Mike, we have a program in our church, you know, that you can you know, be rehabilitated or whatever. So. And then I was thinking, you know, I was like, well, if I could do 90 days or 6 months in this church home and use God just to get out of the situation, you know, then I'll go ahead and do it, you know, because I didn't want to go back to the county. Nobody does, you know. So sure enough, man, she invited me to church, and she goes, I'm gonna rap. I'm gonna rap a song. I was like, rap? What do you mean rap? Because, understand, man, I was a gang member, and I didn't respect rappers because we call them studio gangsters, and a studio gangster is one that would make up a lifestyle just to make money off of the audience, or just to look good and sound hard, but they didn't really live that life. And I don't know about you, but I was brought up on some real gangster music, and that was NWA. And but all these other rappers and stuff. So my sister said she was rapping, and I was like, why are you like doing that? I was embarrassed, bro. I was like, why are you gonna do that for? Like, you're gonna make yourself look dumb. And but nah, she was like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So I went to support her, bro. And I showed up at the church that day, and I remember I sat way in the back, bro. And I remember creeping in there. I think I was high a little bit, and she came out, bro, and that song came on, with that jam on it beat. And I never been in a Christian church before, bro. That was my very first time. I was raised as a Catholic. I did my first Holy Communion, catechism, all that, bro. And so when I seen everybody like clapping and into it, and then they threw the old school beat on, but she came out and the words were different, and she tore it up, bro. I gotta give it to her, man. She can get down on rapping, bro. And so after that, she called me to the front. She goes, "Hey, Mike, come to the front." And she introduced me to some guy, and it was the men's home director of the church, And he said, "Hey, I understand you might be going back to the county to do some time." And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, why don't you come into our men's home? We'll help you out. I'll go to court with you." And I looked at him like, I was looking at him, and I told him this, man. I said, "You don't even know me, bro." I said, "Why are you gonna help me and try to do something for me?" I had an attitude, you know what I mean? And he goes, "No, no, no." So anyway, I gave him the court date. So I went to Norwalk Court, and Norwalk Superior Court, and I seen all these dudes in the front row with their ties and tattoos, and long and behold, bro, they showed up, and they told the judge, "We're from this church in Norwalk, California. We want to, ask you if Mike could come into our rehabilitation home and do his time." And the judge granted it, bro. So I was like, man, you know what? I wanted to use God, bro. I wanted to say, okay, let me do some time in this home and then bounce. You know what I mean? And but that's when, instead of me using God, God started to get a hold of me, bro, in that home. And I didn't understand anything, bro. I was so lost and confused, bro. And when I went into that home, and they didn't have no TV, no radio. They didn't eat on Wednesdays, and I started seeing this. I didn't want to be there, bro. I wanted to leave, because it was just a house. I could just walk out the door. You know what I mean?
Right.
And dudes were boxing in the backyard, like fighting over different things. And I go, man, all this is fake. I don't want no part of this, bro.
Right.
I just wanted to just do my time and get out. You know what I mean? And but little by little, man, like something, started taking place inside my mind and my heart. And I didn't know back then, bro, but that was the Holy Spirit, and I just felt this little tugging, man, this tugging, and I said, man, and the hardest part for me, Paul, was the transformation of my mind, because the lifestyle that I lived, was very wicked. And now, now I'm trying to submit that lifestyle to the Lord, and trying to change that, the way my thinking was, because I would just get up, bro, in the mornings, and I would think, okay, who am I going to hurt today? What can I do to, get to my enemies, or whatever it was, bro. And but now I'm waking up thinking, okay, how am I going to like change this? And how am I going to change this right here? And it was hard for me, bro. It was like war, brother. It was like war. And I was like in a tug of war with the devil and God, bro. And just, the devil was like, man, I'm not going to give up this fool. You know what I mean? And God was right there, bro. Just like, man, this is my guy, And so anyway, I graduated from from the men's home, bro. And God did, man, God was working on me, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, He was
Did you
working.
already submit your life?
I did to a certain extent, bro. You know, like I gave my life to the Lord when I was in the men's home, but I wasn't totally surrendered, bro. I wasn't ready for that. You know, I wasn't like I was playing, you know, I was like 1 foot in, you know, like I don't know yet, you know what I mean? And I was still at war, bro. I was still battling, and that was the hardest part for me, you know. And you know, when I got out of the home, um, you know, it was just like we moved from Artesia to Oxnard. And, you know, that's kind of like what helped me to kind of, you know, get out a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
Sometimes when we're in the hood, all we know is the hood. We don't
mhm,
realize that there's life outside, man. Like moving to Oxnard or wherever, it
right,
really like helped you so much, bro. Because we're tunnel vision in the hood, bro.
right, right. And it was a good move, I could say, man, because it gave me time to think, you know, it gave me time to breathe, you know what I mean? And, um, I started going to church in Oxnard, and I was new, you know, fresh out the home. And I remember my pastor, there was a pastor that I was under, and he was like, "Hey, we want to do like a car show or event," you know what I mean? And I told him, "I don't know nothing about that. I'm just trying to make it, you know, I'm still battling with myself, you know what I
Right.
mean? I didn't know anything about, you know, an event or music or anything, bro. I was still like trying to fight myself, you know, I'm trying not to go back to what I was doing before, you know? And so as a kid, um, my dad would pick me up from elementary school, and he was a big fan of Brenton Wood, bro. Everybody knew Brenton Wood, you know. I
Right.
mean, I knew all his songs by the time I was 8, bro, 7, you know.
Legend.
And
In fact,
so
that's a picture of him right behind you, right?
that's him right there, bro.
The suit.
And he
The zoot
signed that
suit.
to me. Yeah, he signed that to me, and then this is my album with him under his record label, Lord Hear My Prayer. But we'll talk about that. And um, but yeah, man, my pastor told me, you know, like, who do you think we should bring? We want to draw a lot of people, you know. And first thing in my mind was Brentwood, you know, because I mean, that's all I knew because my dad, you know, used to listen to him all the time, man. And so he looked at me and he laughed and he was like, "Oh, yeah, sure," you know. And so he goes, "Well, why don't you go home and like jump on the internet, get some information on Brentwood?" And I was like, "You serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I came home that night and I Googled Brentwood and there was a phone number on there. So I called the number, you know what I mean? And I'm like, "Hey, I was a little nervous, you know." And long and behold, Brentwood answered the phone, bro. And and
Crazy.
they say miracles happen, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't, Paul, I'm gonna tell you, bro, I didn't know that God had a plan for my life. I didn't know where I was gonna be or what I was gonna go, bro. I mean, I was supposed to die, bro, many times, bro. And um here I am, bro, fresh out of the men's home talking to Brent Wood on the phone, you know, and I'm like, "Hey, Brent," I said, "Mr. Wood, out of respect," and I said, "My name's Michael Gonzalez, and I don't even know why I'm calling you." I said, "Because my pastor asked me to call you. I'm an ex-gang member. I'm trying to straighten out my life. You know what I mean?" And he's like, I go, "How much would it cost to bring you to Oxnard?" And he told me $5,000. And I was like, "Wow, $5,000, man!" I wanted to hang up the phone, bro. I didn't know I didn't have $5,000, bro,
Yeah.
and I knew my pastor didn't have $5,000. So I was like, "Okay, well, let me check on a couple things. I'll get back to you, you know." So I went back to my pastor and I told him, "Hey, this is what he said." He goes, "Tell him we want to bring him." So we started washing cars, bro. We started believing in the vision that my pastor had, and it became my vision because I jumped on board and I backed up my pastor, and we raised that money, bro. We labored for it, and I remember this, bro. When Brenton Wood came to our event, um, there was thousands of people, bro. Thousands of people showed up. Like I'm not even exaggerating, bro. The whole street was filled with people, bro, and we had a car show, and I remember that day, bro, when I handed the money to Brenton Wood in his hand, I didn't only give him and pay him money, bro. I believed that I planted a seed not in only my life, but his life. There was a plan, bro. God was doing something. You know what I mean? And I truly believe that, man. You know, my pastor always says, when you have a need, sow a seed. You know what I mean? And I didn't even really do music, bro. Like yet, I did some music, and I know we skipped that part, but after my sister rapped and I was in the men's home and all that, I got out, and my sister would encourage me. She goes, "Why don't you write a song, Mike?" You know? I was like, nah, I'm not a songwriter. I'm not a rapper. All I wanted to do, Paul, was sit way in the back in the church, man, and just get my life together and my mind, because that was my battle. I was my
Right.
battle, you know? And she goes, why don't you just write a song about what you're feeling, you know, what you're battling up here? And so I wrote it. I got in front of the church and I shared it as a poem, and it turned into a song. And this was like, God just revealed the gift, bro, of music to me. I'd never rapped in the world. I wasn't a musician. I was a gang member. But when I received the Holy Spirit, that was the gift that God gave me, was music. You know what I mean? And I know there's a lot of rappers that come from the world. They bring that into Christianity with them and they turn it around. And there's nothing wrong with that. But with me, it was just a gift that God gave me when I
Yeah.
received the Spirit, you know?
Incredible, man.
Yeah.
And man, keep telling us about your rap career. Like I know you worked with Brenton. I know you worked with the Troutman family. Go into all that, man, and then get us into where you're starting to act and all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So after I met Brenton, after we hired him to come, and I was getting Brenton. I would call him a few times, and I would say, "Hey, Brenton, I got you another church event. Like, you know, where you want to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." So eventually, we started building some type of relationship. But to him, it was money. He was making money, you know, in business. But I was trying to build a friendship, you know. And so he goes, "Man, you're helping me so much, man." He goes, "Why don't we do a song for the Lord?" You know, and I'm like, "Really?" You know. And I wrote the song overnight, Paul. Like, I didn't hesitate, bro. This is a, you know, Brenton Wood was talking to a kid that was raised on his music. You know, my dad loved him, bro. And to me, it was just a miracle, bro, to even talk to Brenton Wood. You know what I mean? And so I wrote the song overnight, man. I wrote it. I called him. I said, "Hey, Brent, check this out, man. I wrote the song." He's like, "Dang, you didn't waste no time." I said, "No, man. I truly believe that when there's an opportunity and God gives you an open door, you have to go through that open door, because the season may not come back around. You got to act in the timing of the Lord, you know." And I truly believe that it was God's timing. God said, "You know what? Don't waste no time. Run through this door. Use it as an experience. I'm going to bless you," you know. They told me that scripture that I was going to go before kings, you know, and I don't know, I haven't read it but for a while, but it says you're going to go before kings and men. I think I got to look it up, but and it meant that it was interpreted to me that I was going to come before people that were famous in the world, and God was going to use them in my life, in this chapter, in different chapters of my life, you know. And so when I told Brenton, I said, "Hey, I wrote the song." He's like, "All right, man." He's like, "Let's get in the studio. Let's put it down." So we had brought Brenton to Oxnard, man. We put it down in the studio, and then so that song he put on iTunes, and he's seen the response. He's seen the response. And you're talking about Brenton Wood, man. Brenton Wood, you know, he goes, "Mike, it's going so well. What do you think about doing a single, you know, like a single album, 2 songs or something?" So I go, "All right, you know, let's try it." So we did another song. We put the single out there on iTunes, and it just took off, man. Next thing you know, Brent's calling me. He's like, "Mike, I want you to travel with me to do this show. I want to do that one song with you." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, man." I was excited.
Incredible.
I
Incredible.
was like, "Let's do it,"
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And so, but he told me this. He goes, "You gotta pay your own flight. You gotta pay your own hotel. I can't pay you for the show. You're just going to come up for that one song. I said, man, let's do it. You know what I mean? Because to me, it was like there's always a price to pay for the dream and the vision that God gives to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not going to come easy. You know, you got to sacrifice something. You got to put in the work.
Yeah.
It's not just going to happen overnight. You know what I mean?
Right. And how many other people are traveling with Brenton Wood?
Right.
You know?
I say this humbly, and I was the only artist ever signed to Mr. Brenton Wood Records was Second Chance. I have the proof here. You know, he put right here, it says my first artist, Second Chance. You know, to actually sign on the dotted line and for him to promote an artist was Second Chance, you know. And I was humbled, man. And I remember when I went with him and opened up for the first time, man, I was excited, bro. I was nervous. I remember it was Midnight Star, the SOS band, Brenton Wood, like big names, man. And I was sitting there like, what the heck am I doing here? You know what I mean? And so he's up there in his zoot suit. There's thousands of people in the stadium, and you know, he stops Oogum Boogum. He's done with singing Oogum Boogum, and he goes, man, you know what? I wanna take this time. I wanna call a young man up. You know, he was a gang member, and you know, and he's saying this, you know, and he's saying, let's give it up for Second Chance, and nobody claps, bro. So like I'm thinking, okay, well, wow, you know, like, because now understand this, Paul. In the world, if they don't like your music, they will boo you off stage. I don't care who you are. But you know, it's not like the church. In the church, if they don't like their music, if they don't like, you know, your music, they'll still love you and clap because, you know, they love God. You know what I mean? But out there, it was ruthless, man. You got people drinking, you got people smoking weed, you know what I mean? And with their hyenas and with their ladies. And so here I come. They didn't clap, bro. So I was like, wow, you know. So I started praying, and I was like, man, God, am I in the right place? Am I doing the right thing? God said, you're exactly where you need to be. You get the microphone, you give me glory, and I will give you favor with the people, you know. And I got that microphone, man, and I said, you know what? I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for everything he's done in my life. And you know what they did? They stood to their feet and they began to applaud, man. And I knew God said, you're exactly where you need to be.
Wow.
You stay in this season and I'm going to use it, you know? So me and Brenton did our song together, and it was only one song, remember?
Yeah.
So then Brenton calls me and he goes, Mike, you know what? I want to start putting you on my shows. I want to change that 2-song album to a full album. I want to, you know, do this Mr. Wood Records thing with you. And, you know, so next thing you know, it went from doing one song with Brenton Wood to opening up for him. So now imagine this, promoters would call him and hire him for shows, and he would tell them, you need to put my artist on the show. If my artist can't open up for me, I will not be on your show. He told them that, and I was like, wow. So, you know, what are they going to say? You know, that's Brenton Wood. So they would put me on, even if they didn't like it, they would put me on.
That's crazy.
And a lot of promoters didn't like it, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't like it because, you know, my style, you know, the message behind the music, and so, but they had no choice, man. So I started opening up for Brenton, and you know, it started, you know, just hitting, bro. And you know, it was an awesome season of my life, bro. And
Yeah, man. How many years?
almost I would say about 6.5 years, bro. I was with Brenton.
That is incredible. That's an incredible story, bro, because Brenton, man, he's almost like, to us, Rasa, man, he's almost like one of us. We all grew up with him, bro. I don't know about the youngsters now, but people like my age, man, he's awesome, man.
Definitely, man. Definitely,
then,
man.
Tell us what came next, and how did you meet the Troutmans, and I don't even know what it's called, the voice box, or you know, all that.
Yeah, the talk box, man.
Talk box.
Yeah. Well, when I was with Brenton Wood, I was just rapping. I never played the box. I never played piano. I didn't know how to play keyboard. You know, so when I was on tour with Brenton Wood, we were on tour with Zap, you know. Roger passed away, of course, but Terry Troutman is Roger's brother. They took over the group. So I remember coming off stage, Zap went on, and I was watching their show. And as I was sitting in the back, man, there was something like inside me, man. I was like, man, you know what? I could do that, you know? And I go, but I didn't know how to like go about it or play nothing, you know? So what I did is that day, I remember I seen the show, and God put something in me to want to play that instrument, you know? And what I did is I went back on YouTube and I was checking everything out. I got the keyboard, the voice box, and now I said, okay, how am I gonna learn this? I don't know anything about, you know, keys or, you know, piano. So I started to teach myself. I started to learn how to play the piano first. So I began to learn and teach myself the keys, the notes, the harmonies, because now with the talk box, you're playing single notes. So now when you record in the studio, you have to build off that single note with the harmonies, and it sounds thicker. But so what happened was I met MC Boulevard. MC Boulevard gave his life to the Lord, and we hooked up. We were on this TV show together talking about our testimonies. And I told him, man, you know what? I want to have a show out here in Oxnard, you know, at the Performing Arts Center. And he was like, I go, who do you think we should bring, man? So he knew Rufus Troutman, which was Roger's nephew. And MC Boulevard introduced me to Rufus Troutman. And me and Rufus Troutman became real good friends. And Rufus knew that I had a passion to play the talk box, that I had a passion to play the voice box, and he began to mentor me on the talk box.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so I was just truly blessed, man. I was blown away. And
For those of you who don't know, that the talk box he's talking about is kind of like that robotic sounding voices that you're in Zap, like Doo Diddy and you know, just all that, man. It's just
Computer Love, yeah, California Love, Computer Love, So Rough, So Tough, Grapevine, you know, like all the hits, man. Roger put it out there, and
what a hit, Grapevine. They did a phenomenal job on that one, man.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. So
he's training you, man, and
yeah. So Rufus actually kind of mentored me on that. That's how I met Rufus Troutman, and through MC Boulevard. Wow. And so I was still with Brenton at that time, and then I got a call to do an event, and it was at a church, and so they told me, this pastor calls me, he goes, I'll send you the flyer, there's going to be an actor there, you know. And I was like, cool, you know. So I opened my laptop and I seen the flyer, and I seen this actor before, you know, from Training Day. Training Day was a big movie, so
right.
You know, I was a big fan of Training Day. I love movies. I love watching movies, and so I went to this church, and but see what the trip is that when the pastor sent me the flyer, I opened my computer, and now this was after I told Brenton Wood that I couldn't sign, you know, with him again. There was a time in my life that God had spoken to my heart, and God said that the season was over.
Right.
Because if you understand now, with Brenton Wood, we would do a lot of shows, and you know, there was a lot of temptation, there was a lot of stuff, different things out there. So now when Brenton Wood came to me and he goes, Mike, I need you to sign another contract, I want to do another album with you, God quickened my heart, and I heard the Spirit of the Lord inside tell me, no.
Wow.
The season's over, you know. And I go, man, you know what, I didn't want to hear that, bro. I thought it was just like the devil lying to me or whatever. I said, why would God give you something, and now why would God want to take it away?
Yeah.
Because to me, it was this, bro. I was like, it was barely kicking off for me, Paul. Like the money was coming in, the fame was coming in, you know what I mean? And all that stuff, bro, I don't know, like, if people understand that, the finances help, like, your family, you pay your bills, you know what I mean? The name started blowing up a little bit, and I was in big shows, man, big stadiums, bro. And, that feeling, bro, that when you go out on stage with a legend, and that caliber, bro, I will never forget that feeling. You know what I mean? And I used to come out, bro, with Brenton, and I used to be like this, like cholo, a little bit like, gloves and stuff. And Brenton told me, why don't you look different, And I fought him on it, bro. I fought him and I fought him on it. And I was like, nah, nah, nah. So he goes, I'm gonna take you to the zoot suit store, and I want you to try out a zoot suit. And I'm like, it's not me,
Yeah.
So Brentwood took me to Anaheim, bro, to the zoot suit store, and I tried on this white zoot suit, bro. And once I got that feeling, bro, and I put it on, I never took it off, bro.
Yeah.
And he bought it for me, bro. And when I came out on that stage with him, bro, it was just a feeling that was unbearable, bro. And that caliber with those lights and the people and just that whole atmosphere, it was enticing, bro. And I say this, bro, because it was only a feeling. And we don't go off of the way that we feel. We walk by faith and not by sight, And I gave up a lot, bro. A lot of people don't know out there that the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yes, man.
And I fought God on it, bro, because God told me the season was over. And God said, you know what, if you want to do your own thing and you want to sign with him again, I'm taking that covering from you and you're going to be on your own, And so what I did, man, is I wrestled, I wrestled with God, bro, day and night. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. How could I tell Brenton Wood, bro, that I wouldn't want to sign with him no more? He had so much finances invested into me, bro. He promoted me. I respected him so much, bro. Till this day, man, I thank the man for giving me the wonderful opportunity that he has, And but God is God, bro. And if you're wrestling out there with God, that feeling, that tugging in your heart, when you can't sleep and when you don't have that inner peace inside of you and you're wrestling, And I said, you know what, God, I can't fight no more, man. I'm just gonna tell him, give it up, and I don't know what you have next for me, God, but I'm trusting you,
Yeah.
And I gave up the finances, I gave up the whole scene, man, and I called Brenton Wood and I'm like, hey, Brenton, I'm sorry, man, I can't sign. And like, I know you probably are not going to understand totally, but God says that, he has something for me, different in the direction that I'm headed. And he got mad at me. He got mad at me on the phone, and he told me some stuff, and he's like, I made you. I gave you a name. I gave you a platform. I put you in front of thousands of people, and this is how you're going to treat me, So out of respect, I listened, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him for getting upset at me. And I told him, Brent, I really appreciate everything, man. And, please don't take it personal, but I got to do this. And I said, because God made me and God gave me a platform. And God promised me that he would continue to bless me,
Yeah.
So I was devastated, Paul. I'll tell you, bro, like till this day, man, just speaking about it, because I could have been like, right now, if I would have stayed with Brenton, bro, I could have been out there like MC Magic and, baby Bash and all them, bro. But see, all that I gave up, bro, to serve the Lord. You know what I mean? And so after that, now
what, Mike, before you go on, I know you probably have something good to say because I saw your finger.
Yeah.
But just say, man, just saying this, I'm getting a little ahead, but those who win souls are wise, the Bible says. You've gone back to Artesia. You've gone all over to all the hoods winning souls. You chose the better. But go ahead.
Yeah, man, it was rough, man. Now, after I told Brenton that I was going through it, bro, I was mad at God, bro. I blamed God. I said, man, God, like, I don't understand your plan. I don't know what's happening. I didn't want to do music, bro. I kind of like shut down and crawled in a hole, bro, for a couple weeks, and I didn't know what to do, bro. I was just like, did I make the right decision? You know, I knew that I was fighting, you know, and so that's when that pastor called me, and that's when he said that they had this event with this actor. So when I opened the laptop and seen the flyer that he made for me and this guy, God told me and spoke to me when I seen the flyer. He goes, this is your next season. This is who you're going to work with. And I'm like, come on, you know? So I didn't say nothing, bro. But God told me, I went to this event, to this church, and I met this actor. And I never told him what God told me, because I said, you know what, God, if it's going to be you, then it's going to happen, you know? And me and this guy became really good friends, man, really good friends. And long and behold, it started to unravel, man. I started like hanging out with them, staying at his pad, you know. And one day I was spending the night at his house, and he woke me up and he's like, hey, Mike, check it out, man. I got this movie that I'm in. Since you're here, do you want to go? And I was like, I go, heck yeah, man, let's go. You know what I mean? Who don't want to be in a movie? You know, I wanted to be in a movie, you know. And so next thing you know, man, we're on set. I'm on set filming with Ice Cube and Woody Harrelson in this movie called Rampart. And I'm sitting there, man, and I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, God. God told me right then and there, he said, I had to take you out of the Brenton Wood season to move you into the new season, because if you would have stayed in that season, then you would have never see this, you know?
Can you say your friend's name?
Noel G.
Noel G. We're going to take a break, guys. We're going to leave right. We have some more with his relationship with Noel and his acting. We're going to take a quick break. Watch this video. Check it out. This is from an upcoming film that Michael's in called Kilroy. It's called A Way Out. Stars him and The Message, Second Chance and The Message. Check it out. We'll be back in a second.
You believe everything in that book?
I do. I want to preach it, Mom. I want everybody to know about Jesus.
You can't serve two masters, carnal.
I'ma give it to you raw and let the truth be told. I let fear die, homie, when I was 12 years old. I was searching for acceptance, searching for a father. So all the veteranos became my role models. As you grew up where I grew up, you know we willing to ride and die for that hood that we threw up. Me, vida loca in full effect, and you can tell by the ink tatted up on my neck. The older I got, man, the colder I got, and it was all about the suit, homie, like it or not. I was slipping into darkness, my heart was getting heartless. Me and my filero down a Pierce and he carved. The only thing on my mind, homie, was survival. Never did I think I'd meet the God of the Bible. They say for me to change, it would take a miracle. I was raised by the state playing pinochle, but homie, God tends to work in mysterious ways. You can go from shot calling to getting saved. He took this wretched man and forgave his sins. You see, I never dropped out, homie, I dropped in. Come on, I can't even stare at this man in the mirror. All these demons and devils keep drawing nearer. My hands are so dirty from all this dirt, but deep down inside, Lord, my heart does hurt. But what if I told you there's a way out? And what if I told you he can stop the drought? What if I told you you could stand for truth? It's either life or death, homie, what you gonna choose?
Los Angeles is the county that I always roam, but the prison yard now is a place I call my home. Born and raised in the midst of the grave, reminiscing of our past. We didn't play, going through the walls, posted up in the halls, raising my hand, yeah, that botto's gonna fall. Posted up with wicked times through the mindset, coming out the south side, hard from the 13, taking death as it came, is how I played the game. If you crossed our path, keep your shoulder to the lane. I better maintain, now peep our step from the darkness to the light. Yeah, I never forget, as I sit and reminisce, sometimes I go back in the day when I was led astray. But I gotta be thankful for all that I got. No more packing a cuete or slinging that rock. As I moved from the barrio, the Lord approached my soul. It was time to surrender, this was taking a toll. I didn't wanna die, see, on my own expectations, so I gave up my life. Now it's puro my salvation.
I can't even stare at this man in the mirror. All these demons and devils keep drawing nearer. My hands are so dirty from all this dirt, but deep down inside, Lord, my heart does hurt. But what if I told you there's a way out? And what if I told you he can stop the drought? What if I told you you can stand for truth? It's either life or death, homie, what you gonna choose? Life or death, life or death, homie, what you gonna choose? Life or death, life or death, homie, what you gonna choose?
All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed that video. That was Michael Gonzalez, Second Chance, and the message from the movie Kilroy. Those are actually clips in that music video. So, Mike, before we go on really quick, just say something really quick about that video we just seen and that song.
Man, that video, man, it was a blessing, man, you know, from the movie Kilroy, different parts. And man, the movie's gonna be awesome, you know, awesome message, awesome, just a crew and cast. And I truly believe that the casting, you know, was just right on the money, you know what I mean? And I know that a lot of the people are gonna be blessed out there when it hits, you know?
Yeah. We'll get to Kilroy in a while, guys. But right now, we were on, Mike, you were talking about how you went on set. You were on set with Noel G and Ice Cube, and that God had brought your relationship together as friends. He closed the door with Brenton Wood, as not as a friend, but as working together. And now he hooked you up with a new friend, which I know you're still friends because I see your pictures together with Noel G. So go on. You're on set with Ice Cube and everybody, and
Yeah, man, we were just right there, man. And you know, I was just tripping, man. I was like, wow, you know, like um I never even, beyond my wildest thoughts or dreams, man, that I would be where I was at. And you know, I was a gang member, man. I was like, you know, I was supposed to be spending the rest of my life in prison or you know, dead. You know, I never thought that I would make it past 18. And here I am, you know, now I'm on set, a different chapter in my life. And I'm on set with Woody Harrelson and everybody. And I'm sitting there, you know, in front of the camera, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, wow, you know what, God is good, man. And you know, I know that sometimes you got to give up something to get somewhere, you know. And there was something hard for me because I was holding on to the Brenton Wood season. And don't get me wrong, man. Man, I mean, I love Brenton and, you know, the music, but you know, obedience. I had to obey what God was telling me because I truly took a leap of faith and said, okay, God, I'm gonna trust you, you know. And you know, so mine and Noel G's relationship, everybody knows him as Hector, you know, Hector from
right.
Fast and Furious. But it just grew, man. We became good friends. We're still good friends, man. I was just with them the other day, you know, doing a video for Bone Thugs and Harmony. And but um you know, after Rampart, you know, then Noel would call me and he would say, Mike, I got another movie. You know, you did good. I know you have a passion for acting. And so there was this film called Philly Brown. And Philly Brown was with Jenny Rivera, Edward James Olmos, Lou Diamond Phillips. That was before Jenny Rivera died in the car crash. I mean, the airplane crash, I'm sorry. And so I went on set and I met Edward James Olmos and Lou Diamond Phillips and Jenny Rivera. And I was just blessed, man. I was like, wow, this is my second film. And then I started to see, man, God told me, you know, these are opportunities that I'm giving you because trying to use your life in this realm, in this season with these people in Hollywood now.
Yes.
You know, so first it was with Brentonwood, and then it was now in the Hollywood scene. And as a Christian man, it was like I got a lot of slack for it, you know, because even when I was with Brenton Wood, people would say, well, why are you out there with Brenton Wood? You know, like, what are you doing? But there's always a purpose, you know? And I truly stick to the scripture that the Bible says that it's the sick that need a doctor, not the well.
Yeah,
So,
man.
you know, we were called to go out into the places that I was in to, you know, because who's gonna relate the message that God has, you know, out in those type of places? You know what I mean? And when I was with Brenton Wood, man, even in the enemy's camp, in these stadiums filled with people drinking, you know, people would come up to me after and say, man, you know what, I've been running from the Lord, man, and God found me in this place. You know, you spoke on something that really touched my heart. And that's the places that we need to be, you know?
Can I
But
say
it's,
something really quick?
yeah,
Let me
yeah,
say something on that. So, you know, I'm in the film industry. You know, Mike works in the film and music industry. And what people don't understand, sometimes they'll see me. I don't go to a lot of them. I get invited to a lot of events, secular events, um, a lot of red carpets. And I don't go to a lot. Like people, the actors in the film industry know I don't go to a lot, but when I do, I realize, and I know Mike realizes that he's called, and I've been called to reach into Hollywood, to be a salt in a dark place, to be light in a dark place. And a lot of people don't understand that God will send certain people, because who's going to reach them? People always say Christians, and they're very negative. Look at these movies Hollywood's putting out. Hollywood's putting, you know, Hollywood's doing this. But people like myself, Mike, others have been called in there to be prayed up, filled with the Spirit, go in there and reach them. And because sometimes you know, I get a lot of flack, and I know Mike, you know, is a lot more famous than I. He gets a lot of flack. So I'll end my statement with this. Mike was sharing a video one time, and he was on a track. And, you know, on the track, there's different lanes in the track where people run. And Mike was just saying, and it really blessed me, it ministered to me, because he's saying, see, I'm in this lane right here. I'm in this, you know, the chalk on the track, where you go around the track. He's like, I'm in this lane. And some guy came jogging by on the lane, the inside lane. And he goes, see, I'm not trying to get in his lane. I'm not trying to get in his lane. That's his lane. This is my lane. I'm just focused on my lane. In other words, I'm focused what God has me to do. I'm not worried what God has him to do or him to do. We all have a different calling. And I just really encourage you that, you know, when you see Mike or me or different Christians going into the film world, it's not because we're compromising. It's because we know that we've been blessed with an open door to go in there and talk to these actors that no one may never get to minister to, but God called us to do it. So go ahead, Mike.
right, man. You know, and those are the dark places, man. And, you know, people would, you know, people are always going to talk, Paul. You know, people are always going to say things. But at the end of the day, man, it's just, you know, you answer to the Lord, you answer to God, you know, and I'm beyond in my life and in my walk with the Lord, I'm beyond trying to impress people, trying
Right.
to listen to what people say. I know where I'm at with God, and that's what matters at the end of the day, because when you answer before the Lord, it's just going to be you and God, man, you know. And I used to be worried about what people thought. I used to be worried about what they thought about my attire, how I looked, how I sounded, what I did, you know. But I'm beyond that point now. It's just like, you know, it doesn't bother me, you know, like somebody put a comment on Facebook or Instagram, or, you know, and it was negative. So what? Delete it. You know what I mean? Move on. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. You know what I mean? And, you know, because your purpose is way too bigger to allow people to influence your life. If you let people run all over you and let negativity you know, overrun you, then you're allowing people that power to you know, make that decision for you, you know.
And I agree, man. And all you people out there, be encouraged in that. like when you're driving down the freeway, you see one of those signs off the freeway, you know, you go, you see it, but then you pass it. Before you know it, it's in the back of you, and just keep going, you know, don't stop. So tell us some of the movies you've been in, and who have you got to work with over the years, and I know Noel G blessed you, you know, you guys are good friends, and you know, what are some of the movies you got to be in?
Let's see, I was in Rampart and Philly Brown, and then I started like as an extra, you know, like Noel would give me these little parts and stuff like that, but I wanted to go further, you know, and people would say, "Oh, I seen you in that movie for about 2 minutes," or you know, but it was a start, you know, with something
Yes.
because, you know, I truly believe you gotta start somewhere, and it's not what you know in Hollywood, it's who you know. You know what I mean? And by me just jumping into these were movies, Paul, that made it to theaters. You know what I mean? I wasn't just like, you know, like doing some rinky-dink movie that was shelved or collecting dust on a shelf. These were movies that went to theater, and I was just truly blessed. So, you know, I did Bullet with Danny Trejo. You know, I worked with Danny. I know Danny also. His roommate Mario was a good friend of mine, and also I worked on Fast and the Furious 7. Now, when we went to Fast and the Furious 7, Noel called me and he's like, "Hey, Mike, they're gonna bring me back in the film, you know, like in the Race Wars." And so he goes, "I want you to be a part of it." So I was like, "Cool, man, let's do it," you know. So I was excited, man. You know, like I'm standing, we're like, people don't know the man what we go through on set, man. You know, and I'm sure you know, but on Rampart, man, we were up to like 5 or 6 in the morning, freezing our butts off, man. Freezing, we were freezing, man. And but Fast and the Furious 7, it was hot. It was in Lancaster. We're pouring sweat, man, like just dying out there. You know what I mean? For hours and hours. But I got to meet Vin Diesel, which was a blessing. Vin, you know, walked up to us because he knows Noel. So, you know, Noel introduced us, and I got to meet Michelle Rodriguez, and just a blessing, man. I got to meet Danny Trejo because we filmed Bullet, and you know, I've done a couple things with Danny Trejo. He was also in my music video called Praise On that I did with War, and it was just a blessing, man, to meet all of these people, man, you know. And then I finally got a starring role in this film called Kidnapped Souls. You know, I got a leading role, and I play a victim, you know, escapes and stuff like that. But it's been a good journey, man. It's been a good ride. God opened up the door, and God said, "You know what, I'm just using this mic so that it will open up different doors and avenues for you." And something that people can relate to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So right now we just want to get in briefly into the Kilroy movie. So I felt led to make a movie on Kilroy Roybal. He's one of the, you know, the founders of that big organization, the Gang of Gangs, and he was in that organization for, you know, 40 plus years, man. He did more than 40 years in jail, and he got released in 1993, 94, gave his life to the Lord, and now he dedicates his life to reaching gang members, pulling prostitutes out of their life, feeding the homeless. I mean, that's his call. He goes on mission trips to Africa. He goes into prisons. So we made a movie on him, and one of the people we casted, the lead role was Wilson Ramirez, but one of the people we casted to play one of the main roles in one of the areas of the film was Second Chance, Mike, and he actually plays the part of Nico. And I don't want to say much on the role because Nico was in that organization. He's a very well-known guy. You could Google him, but he gave his life to the Lord, and he paid the ultimate price of martyrdom. And actually, the part of Nico, so he died for his faith, but the part of Nico was actually Kilroy is the one who said that Mike should play Nico. So it wasn't even me. It was Kilroy chose him to play Nico. He goes, he would be good for that role. And we couldn't have done any better. So tell us about your experience on the set of Kilroy and dealing with the stubborn producers like myself.
Man, it was a blessing, man, for Kilroy just to say, hey, you know what, let's get second chance in there. And I think that he'll play the role. And, I was honored, man, just to be a part of the film. And anytime there's opportunity to minister through a message, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? And being on set over there, man, it was a good time. It's always a good time to film. And just the parts that I was filming was, it was deep. It was deep. And but it's always a blessing, man, to be able to operate in your passion, and to even see some of the places that we filmed at, man, like it was special, like to see like a movie set, prison cells, or
Yeah,
to just all the guys being there having a good time, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's always a blast, man. I was honored, and I just prayed that I did and lived up to the expectation of the character Nico. And I prayed that the message is powerful, and his family is truly blessed, and
yeah.
whatever whoever is out there watching the film, I prayed that yeah, so I pray that, whoever's watching the film, that God ministers to them.
Yeah, man, and we have been in contact. I think Mike, you got contacted, and I by Nico's son. So
Right.
pretty cool that we got to represent Nico well, and show that he paid the ultimate price,
Hmm.
for living his faith. But I also want to give props to Mike, because Mike did help us bring some people on the set. He brought people from Arizona, who rap with him, who were under his label, which they brought more people. He brought Sal Rodriguez into the film. Sal played a part actually with me. I actually had to play a part in the film because somebody kind of flaked on us and didn't show up. So I had to jump in and play his role, not by design. So I got to do a scene with Sal, and Sal killed it also, So thank you, man, for all the help with the film. Not only that, making a song for the film with the message, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. And so that film is actually coming out. We're hoping Cinco de Mayo-ish, probably a week or two after Cinco de Mayo. We're going to have it at limited theaters here, hopefully in LA and Orange County. So we'll keep following, us and Mike and myself and more creative films, and we'll keep you updated how to get tickets, and that's coming very soon. So we'll have news probably by the end of March, early April. We'll have news on that. So Mike, we want to and all this time, you're doing music, man. Tell us about all the places you got to go play music, but not only that, like all the hoods, man. You know?
Man, I've been blessed, man. Oh man, I've been all over the country, man. I could say, when I was with Brentwood, even not with Brentwood, I've got to travel a lot, and different countries, through the United States. Just it's been a blast, man. When I first started flying, man, it was rough, bro. It was rough. I never been in a plane. I never got out of Artesia, bro. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of anxiety, bro, and I would have little panic attacks on the plane, and I would get nervous, bro, really nervous, man. And one day God just said, you know what? There's nothing you can do. Put your trust in me. And I started to get better, Now I fall asleep on planes, bro. You know what I mean? And but I've been through a lot, man, and just to see the places that I've seen, the different places, man, it's just been an awesome journey. I just can't stop thanking the Lord, man. I never thought that I would make it this far, be where I'm at today, at all, man. I just it's just like the Bible says, all things are possible, man. All things are possible with God. And um I know that my journey's not over yet.
Ah,
It's still rolling, you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, man. So what's pretty cool, Mike, is one of the things, a blessing is I'm pretty sure you performed here in my hood in La Habra before.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, in fact, I know you have, because there was a play, and I remember years back before I knew you. But one of the blessings is, bro, when God took you out of Artesia, and like Paul, he was set apart for a while. He had to learn and become strong. He kind of did that with me, but then God places you back in because he wants you to reach. And you've been able to go back in Artesia and perform and preach the gospel at car shows, on stage, and everything, man. But also, man, Artesia, it really needs it, because that area was filled with, with a lot of big guys, a lot of big guys, and I know, like, as far as like Weddle Buff, I know you knew his sons and stuff like that. Talk about growing up, with people, all those people from status that came to your neighborhood. I know there was
Yeah,
Shaw. There's different ones.
yeah,
Boxer
there
is,
a
there's
lot of history, man, in that neighborhood, and a lot of OGs, man, OGs, the real deals. Much respect and love out there to them.
yeah.
It's just a blessing, man, to know that your neighborhood has history and legends like that,
And
and
it's not guys that here's what it is. It's not that we're propping these guys up. It's because you know you even though God changes your life and you're not part of the hood, so to speak, you're not a gang member, you never lose your love for these people. You have love for them. They were your brothers growing up, you know? Yeah. So, for people who don't understand, but go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
no, it's okay though. I mean, man, bro, I mean, dude, that was just all in the family, bro. You know what I mean? Like Artesia, if you understand, like we're like the homies, the brotherhood, we were all like just one big family, bro. And because Artesia is a small city, bro, but we had a powerful impact, bro.
Hmm.
And we would stick together, bro, like brothers, you know what I mean? And everybody knew everybody, bro. Everybody knows everybody, bro. Somebody's having a party, a barbecue at their pad, like you're gonna know about it, you know what I mean? And me growing up with these guys, man, in this circle, bro, it was just with my dad and my sister, because Chivas was it was kind of it was a different clica of Artesia, you know what I mean? And to some people it was the same thing, Artesia Chivas, but um that was back then. Now it's just Chivas, they got their cliques or whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, growing up with these guys, man, we would just basically we would die for them, man. We would die for my brother,
Yeah.
and it was rough, man. And then having those type of people and that background, because when you hear the city's name, Artesia, what do people think right away? They think of whoever was calling shots, or what I mean, because there was a lot of shot callers, man, from Artesia, and
Big
we
shot
call them
callers too, not, big, big impact guys,
right, and we
not
call them
Mills, big guys.
the big homies, you know what I mean, or but growing up like that, man, I mean, I was a soldier for the devil, you know what I mean? And um we would never back down, man. We weren't people that had hearts that would just back down, or um if somebody did something, to us, we weren't just people who were just gonna stand by, you know what I mean? I mean, you had homies that like it just wasn't in them, bro. You know what I mean? It just wasn't. You knew right away if you jumped them in that they were just lames, bro.
Yeah.
They were scared. You know what I mean? But when you're like, with me, bro, I was a kid. I had a good heart, man. But the Bible is true, because when you hang with the foolish, you're gonna become foolish, and that's what happened to me, bro. I got corrupted. My heart became from good to wicked. I wasn't scared. If somebody disrespected me, bro, you were gonna get it, bro.
But
You know
ain't
what I
it
mean?
cool? Ain't it cool all these years later? Just a while back, I see a flyer, and I don't know where I got this flyer. Second Chance is performing in Artesia.
Yeah.
Crazy, like how you get to go back now, bro, with a positive message and trying to pull the homies out. You know,
Right, right.
give them a new way to go to saying, hey, you knew me, God could change you, bro. But I want to talk something else now. Another OG passed. Your dad, Mike. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you want to go into that and tell us like how that affected you, and you know.
Definitely, man. Like, my pops was like my best friend, man. You know, like we grew up, like he had my back, you know what I mean? And it was like when he died, man, and passed away, it was like a part of me died, you know what I mean? And but man, he had a big impact in my life, man. I always wanted to be like my dad, man. My dad was ruthless, bro. He was well respected, he was feared. You know, when he walked in the room, bro, you knew that something was gonna take place, brother. You know what I mean? And you know, when he was around, you knew something was cracking, bro. And that's how his presence and his demeanor was. You know, and I wanted to be like my dad, bro. You know what I mean? I wanted to follow in his footsteps. I wanted to be this gangster dude that was, you know, like well respected, bro, you know, and at his level. And I was trying to do my best, bro, you know, to make a name for myself, or, you know, to climb up the ranks, you know, like to be like my pops, you know, because he set the bar, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? He set the bar high. And when he was in prison, you know, he did 14 years straight, level 4, you know, Corcoran, he was up there. And, but, you know, I wanted to be like him, bro. I wanted to make it to the big time, you know. I wanted to put in, you know, enough work so that I can have a name or be respected, you know what I mean? And for me to go back to the neighborhood, bro, to Artesia Park, and see all the homies, and be there with the message, bro, of hope, and that God changed my life, you know, because when I gave my life to God, man, I said, you know what, God, I was a soldier for the devil, but now I'm gonna be a soldier for you, and I want to serve you, you know, no matter what happens, no matter how hard it is, I'm gonna commit my life to you. And that's what I did, man. And I went, you know, I went all out, man. And I went to Artesia Park, and I seen a lot of the fellas, man, a lot of the homies, man, that I grew up with. They were there, man. I got to get on that microphone and share the gift of music, and my and what God has done in my life. And you know, I really, you know, my heart goes out to them, man, because you know they respected it, you know what I mean? And there's not a lot of people that can go back to their neighborhood and still be respected, you
Yeah.
know, and say, you know, I know people are, you know, a lot of people are hiding, or you know, they're using God as an excuse, or you know, but I was honored, man, and I was privileged to go back there and be able to be respected and say, okay, Mike's coming, you know, with to share his music, or you know, to share with us the message, you know. And I remember I talked to one of my homies, man, and he ran with my pops, you know, was his road dog, man. And um, um, it was Weddle Buff's son, you know, Weddle Buff's son, and one of them. And it was he was road dogs with my pops, you know, Big Mike. And I talked to him a while back, man, on the phone, and he was like, man, you know what, Mike, we're proud of you, man. We're proud of what you're doing. Keep up the good work. You know, we know that you're doing stuff with Brenton Wood, and, you know, everybody. And he just told me, man, much respect and love, man. And, you know, keep doing what you're doing, man. And I told him, man, thank you. You know, I'm praying for you guys, you know, and
Sweet,
I
man.
really, I really appreciated that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And then about your pops passing, man. I mean, tell us about that and what encouragement you could give to people who've gone through that. You know.
Yeah, man, with my pops, man. See, my pops was he was a big drinker, man, you know. And um, you know, God gave him many chances, man. And but he loved to drink. He loved that alcohol, man. And but I just, through my dad's life and passing, what I've learned, man, is that you know, no matter how hard my dad was, like, as far as like on the outside, he showed like a lot of love and respect, you know, and that's what I picked up, man, because my dad showed me, um, how to be a good man, how to be dedicated, how to respect people. And I love him for that, man. I love him for that, because this generation nowadays, I could tell you, they have no respect. They have no respect. The youngsters, they don't care, who you are, what you do. You can't even tell who's a gangster no more out there in the street. I mean, they're wearing skinny jeans and packing guns, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's just, you can't tell who's who anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but if anybody that's out there watching this film or this video, I just want to encourage you, man, that, no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, no matter your situation, there's always hope. You're never too old to change. You can't say like, hey, you know what, I'm too old for change, because, God has a plan, He has a purpose and a destiny for your life. And I truly believe that if God can do a miracle in mine, He can truly do one in yours.
Yeah. That's a good, as we're heading to the end of the interview. What a word of encouragement, man. And I have a few other things, Mike, but before we go on to those closing things I want to do, is there anything you want to share that I've missed?
Man, just man, you guys are probably out there listening, to my life story or some of the things that happened in my life, and it was just that was just a little taste, you know what I mean? And um but I've been close to death on many occasions. And um I just like look at my life today, and I lift my hands up to the Lord, because that's where my help comes from. And for those out there that maybe looking down on somebody today, I want to encourage you, man, we're not perfect people.
Mhm.
We fall short every single day of our life. We're far from perfect, but we are forgiven. And I want to encourage you that, just pick yourself up, keep going, keep moving, keep pushing forward, no matter what people say. There's always going to be somebody that's going to hate on you or put you down, or disagree with the vision and the dream that God has given to you. But you can't let that discourage you, because if you do, then you're in the wrong game. You're doing the wrong thing, because in this thing that we do, you have to expect that. It comes with the territory, should I say. But like I said, I learned throughout the years, to not let that bother me. It used to bother me so much when people would hate on me or say something about me, but I no longer lose sleep over it. When you learn to do that, then those people don't have control over you anymore. You know what I mean? And so, but to the homies out there, if you're watching, um, much love and respect. I never forget where I come from. I always mention where I'm from, the respect, the love that I have for the neighborhood. I love everybody that's there, man. And you know, and to all those other people, man, that that don't know me and that tuned in. I pray that God truly blesses you through this video.
Yeah, man. And then Mike, I have a couple of fun things before we close really quick. I
All
know we've
right,
been going for a while, probably longer than we planned, bro, but I'm sure the people are getting blessed, bro.
that's all right.
Yay. I know I told Mike an hour we're probably going to go on two, but when we turn this off, he's going to smack me or something. But Mike, give me the Mount Rushmore. 4 people you would put on the Mount Rushmore Raza rappers
Mount Rushmore.
in your it doesn't have to be everyone's, in your opinion, in your heart, like who's blessed you?
Who has blessed me?
Yeah.
Rappers?
Could be Christian, secular, whoever.
Man, Little Rob is one of them because, Little Rob, they say, a lot of people say that I sound like I'm more similar, there's a little, yeah, there's a little thing there, but I listen to Lil Rob, man, and he really influenced me, man, in a way to be more artistic, an artist, and my delivery, things like that. I really looked up to Rufus Troutman because of the talk box. Just he amazes me and blesses me so much with his style, his anointing, his music, his message. And I could say maybe Smokey Robinson. Smokey also has a gospel album also, and I just really love his message and the smoothness of his vocals, and of course I gotta say Brenton Wood, man.
Yeah.
Brenton Wood has not only been a friend to me, but just a man that has given me an opportunity of a lifetime, that, he may not give to anyone else. And I really appreciate him. He was, his music has, also touched people of many generations,
Yeah.
and, I got one more.
Go ahead. That's far, but go another one, man.
Okay. Oh man.
I love picking your brain.
I think man, I would say that's about it off of my top of my head,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And you know what? Even in the Chicano Christian rap, I would put you and MC Boulevard up there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You guys are really reaching the world for Christ, man. You guys both, and man, just man, thanks for doing that. But I got one more. I want you to do. I'm gonna say a name, and I want you to say not more than 5 words about them. All right.
Okay.
Couple names. First thing that comes to your mind. Okay. And you might know some of these, you might not, but I know you know their names. Danny Trejo.
Ruthless.
MC Boulevard.
Anointed.
Kobe Bryant.
Legend.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
Unbeatable.
Emilio Rivera.
Gangster.
Man, brother, is the last. No, I'm going to give you 2 more. Sonny Arganzoni.
Oh, leader.
Leader. That's cool, man. And last but not least, Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Over everything.
Yeah, man. So this is going to end the interview, everybody. Second Chance, where can the people get a hold of you, and what do you have coming? Please plug everything, bro.
Man, they could get a hold of me on Facebook. My Facebook is Michael Robert Gonzalez Jr. You could reach all my music on iTunes. Just punch in Second Chance with the 2ND, Chance, second with the 2ND, and then Chance, The Father's Love. All my albums will pull up on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Xbox Live, everything. You could download some of my favorites there, my albums, even the album right here with Brenton Wood called Lord Hear My Prayers on iTunes. You can find my stuff on YouTube under Christian rapper Second Chance. Upcoming, we just did a video with Bone Thugs and Harmony, music video coming out. I got working on some new music also, and got some upcoming films, and don't forget Kilroy's coming out. So
please support him. Go get download some of his music. It's very professional, very awesome. You've seen some of the music videos, man. It doesn't get better than that, the quality. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Mike, for the interview. We appreciate it. God bless.
All right, brother. God bless you, bro.